Today, I want to take you on a journey to Peru to meet the women who participated in the Mujeres CAFE initiative. This will not be a familiar trip to a TechnoServe coffee program. I will not talk about agronomy training or take you to a wet mill. Coffee, in fact, is not the star here. Have no fear, though. I will be your guide. I will tell you about one specific component of our coffee work in Peru, focused on building women's leadership and agency. How it was designed, its basic structure, and its activities. And I will also tell you about the PhotoVoice evaluation that was incorporated into the program. The stars of this journey are the more than 1,300 women leaders who took part in Mujeres CAFE. You will hear from some of them today. They will tell you about their lives, what they experienced through the program, and how they view themselves and the world around them. This is about their leadership journey, seen through their eyes, heard in their own voices. Let's begin. Welcome to Peru, South America's third largest country, a country that is significantly covered by the world's largest rainforest, the Amazon. Where the world's second highest mountain range, the Andes, runs like a spine from north to south across the country. These mountains were thought to be gods by the Inca. A country that holds a diversity of climates, ways of lives, and ancient civilizations, and economic activities drawn from the country's agricultural, marine, and mineral resources. On our journey today, you will meet women from the communities around the city of Moyobamba in the department of San Martin, and in the river valleys around Tingo Maria in Huánuco. Known as the City of Orchids, Moyobamba and the surrounding areas are home to rivers, waterfalls, hot springs, and unique microclimates which contribute to the production of excellent coffee. Tingo Maria sits at the confluence of two rivers and is nicknamed the door to the Amazonia, with a limestone mountain range in the shape of a woman that sleeps, known as La Bella Durmiente. Both regions are marked by poverty, and over the years have experienced periods of violence and vulnerability, often linked to narco-trafficking. Women in these regions are actively involved in the production of coffee and especially in harvesting, but have little presence in the external-facing phases like commercialization or participation in producer associations. They are overlooked as farmers and entrepreneurs, often only seen as helpers and only homemakers. I could tell you more, but I think it's time to meet some of the women of Mujeres CAFE.
Yo me he criado en un hogar donde el machismo sí existía, en la cual que la mujer solamente tenía opción a de repente a hacer pues sus cosas de la casa, solo la mujer, y el varón no podía, según porque era varón. Entonces yo he crecido viendo eso. Antes de votar por nosotros no nos daban la oportunidad para nosotros. No, que no sabe, que no quiere, que la mujer es para su casa, que tanta cosa.
Todo era el machismo del varón, ellos más querían ellos ordenar en todo y a la mujer ya no nos consideraban pues.
Mujeres CAFE was funded by the Starbucks Foundation and sat within the larger CAFE program funded by USAID. It was designed in response to the context in which Lilia, Monica, and Nelida found themselves, and specifically to focus on women as leaders of their own lives, in their households, on their farms, and in their communities. The workshops that made up the program were built on the simple yet powerful idea that women are leaders. Not tomorrow, not in a month's time, now, from the moment they walk in to the first workshop. They are leaders. They already have the qualities they need to lead, and by working together, they will find a way of unlocking the potential that lies within them. This aligns with the three powers around which TechnoServe's women's economic empowerment work is framed. We work to enhance the power within, or self-confidence, the power to do something, like lead or manage a farm, and the power you gain working with others, with your family, your community. The curriculum was designed to be a safe space where women would cultivate these powers. The assumption was that in doing so, they would be set on a path to regain confidence in themselves, in their capacity to voice and make decisions, in their pride to be part of the coffee sector. Did it work? You should hear from them.
Para nosotros era todo estar acá en nuestro campo, en las chacras, no salíamos así salir en reuniones con las amigas, los ingenieros, ¿sí? Las ingenieras. Y para mí, ahorita que estoy aquí en esto, parece que como que algo, tengo más ánimo, y más quiero aprender, ya soy una mujer más valiente, empoderada, es más luchadora, para mí así me siento.
He sido tímida, pero ahora ya me siento a veces, no al 100% segura, sino ya estoy rompiendo esas barreras, como le digo. Y me siento orgullosa de mí misma que estoy siguiendo adelante.
Ahora soy otra Araceli, diferente a la anterior, porque la anterior era una persona callada, a veces te dejabas humillar de la gente o de tu esposo o de quien sea, pero ahora no. Si yo tengo la razón, pues ahí voy a estar adelante, no me voy a callar. Y si hay maltrato todo en mi casa, yo no voy a callar, siempre voy a seguir adelante.
Bueno, yo he cambiado en todo, en toda mi forma de ser. Ya no soy la mujer que era tímida, vergüenzosa, que era humillada, ya no, ya, porque ya estamos ya capacitadas.
We have one more stop in our journey, but before we get there, I want to make a quick detour. This would not be a TechnoServe project if I didn't mention a few quantitative achievements of the project and of the USAID CAFE project that was also working with these coffee-growing families. Over the course of 18 months, this initiative, more than 1,400 coffee farming families began making joint decisions on selling their coffee and how to use their income. 89% of women trained in leadership reported greater decision-making power in their farms and in their households. 97% of women trained in leadership reported increased control over their income. Now, Mujeres CAFE did not define a leader as someone who holds an official position in a community or a producer association. Yet among the associations linked to the CAFE programs today, 59% of leadership positions are held by women. These women chose to put themselves forward for election. They were elected and are now participating in decision-making processes that affect their families, their farms, and their communities. 100% of the women elected into those positions graduated from Mujeres CAFE. Let's come back to the final phase of our journey. You may have heard me say at the start that this activity incorporated a PhotoVoice evaluation. PhotoVoice is a participatory methodology that turns the table on classic research and evaluation by shifting power from external evaluators who collect data about program participants and analyze it far away from them, and instead places power into the hands of participants. Participants use cameras and storytelling to create visual narratives of their lives. The results reveal what clients see, what is important to them, what changes they have experienced, literally through their own eyes and in their own words. In Mujeres CAFE, PhotoVoice was specifically selected because it provided the opportunity to apply the concepts and skills developed during the workshops. PhotoVoice pulled this thread that aimed to reconnect women with their power and with their voice and provide an outlet for them to articulate this. With cameras in their hands, women decided where to point and shoot, what they wanted us to see. And by crafting a caption for their photos, they told us how they understood the world around them. As the final stage in their leadership journey with Mujeres CAFE, they held the power in their hands. Several themes emerged as women reflected on what images they wished to capture: the importance of coffee, women's connection to nature, and their own process of empowerment. In fact, almost half of the women chose to center themselves in their photo. For many, this was one of the first opportunities to really look at themselves and think about the concept of self. A need perhaps that emerged as a result of their leadership journey and a new understanding of who they are or who they wish to be. But instead of me telling you about the photos, you should see them for yourselves. Remember, these women learn to use a camera as part of this process. These are photos that come from people who aren't really even amateur photographers. Part of the process was included also the construction of the caption. This too was done by the women themselves as they explained why they took a particular photo or what it meant to them. This particular photo really comes to life once you've read the caption. I didn't quite understand this photo until Lucy explained to me that you have to be careful when you're harvesting coffee because there are beehives in the trees. The caption is quite literally about the obstacles in harvesting coffee, but it probably speaks to more than that. Margarita barely said anything through the PhotoVoice process, and when asked about this photo, she said she'd never seen herself look so beautiful. I think that speaks to the idea of change and transformation that we heard in many of the women's remarks, that they came to a new understanding of themselves and therefore needed to capture this new self. We've come to the end of our journey together. It was my pleasure to serve as your guide through the Mujeres CAFE program. Thank you for joining me. I leave you now with a few final words from Lilia.
Bueno, yo particularmente, o sea, mi opinión, mi visión mía, es llegar, en verdad, llegar a ser grande. Quisiera ser una futura empresaria. Sí, yo tengo miras a eso y caigo y levanto y sigo luchando por eso, por lo que quiero.